Hi Capricorn, here's a general look at your solar chart for August 2012, and this is an important gear shifting phase for you. You're going to be shifting from one stretch of road to the next. But before I go into that, I just want to mention again that as one of the cardinal signs, you are at the cutting edge of this years long and at times highly volatile Uranus-Pluto aspect. Now last month and this month these two planets are close together. They were closer last month, but they're pretty close this month as well, and making waves for us all throughout the world. So you children of the goat, some of you may be sitting on the edge of your seat wondering what's going to happen next, or you may be feeling insecure, because this is a time when many of us are feeling insecure, but you cardinal signs are right out there in front. So you may be feeling that this huge evolutionary kick up the backside that we're all getting is actually making you feel stressed and insecure, and you know it is very, very if you're in the zone of the degrees, it can be very stressful, and you Capricorns, you may be feeling this, but your evolution is being accelerated, so it's a bit of a white knuckle ride, and you're having to let go of things and shed things very, very fast because you've got Pluto in your sign, and you like rhythm, you like security, you like routine, and so these energies at the moment are very destabilizing. But if you look across the wider stage, you can see how they're playing out across the globe, and yeah, that might not help you in your own little neck of the woods. This is a hard aspect between these two planets, and when you get through this time, you will be coming out the other end of it much happier and more secure, in fact probably happier than you've ever been, because this is nothing less than this is a cosmic makeover that's happening, and things that you never thought you'd see happen will happen. So not all of them, just some of them. So this is a very important gear shifting phase for you, and you've got to be, during this storm of frequency change on our planet, you've got to be ultra flexible, but the cardinal signs can just about pull that off. The fixed signs are far too fixed and stuck in their ways, and the mutable signs are a little bit too changeable and kind of take their eye off the ball sometimes, although I shouldn't say that. And but the cardinal signs have got the nice mix of the innovative, enterprising side, but which is very, very determined, but also they have the flexibility. You have the flexibility to bend like the tree in the wind and not snap. So you won't. You'll bend like the tree in the wind, hopefully. And this is this gear shifting phase at this time for you, and you'll be weighing things up. You'll be considering your position, probably financially or maybe around property. You'll be intuitively gauging. But if there is any advice I can give to you, is to listen to your deep, deep knowing. Listen what comes from the very, very pit of your stomach, what comes from your bones. Because the mind says this and the mind says that, and the mind can frighten the living daylights out of you. But you will be held, you will be supported, you will be kept in a bubble of protection. And the more you're aware of that, the stronger it will be and the more evident it will be in your life. The more you believe the chattering of the mind, you know, frightening you to death with this scenario or that scenario, or what if this or what if that, then the signal from the cosmos, it will be weakened by the static, because that's like crackling on the line. So I'm just really speaking here, I suppose, to certain ones among you, because I know what this time is about. And of course the mutable signs before the cardinal signs went through all of this awful time, and once you've been there, you never forget, and when you come out the other side, you say, that's it, been there, done it, got the t-shirt. So at this time anyway, in August, because I'm talking about the whole the whole window of time really, but in August it's like certain things will push your buttons probably, and you'll be more aware of your emotional side. You'll be more aware of the financial aspects of things, the property aspects of things, and you'll be more aware of how you've got to keep the lid on certain things. You've got to keep your opinions to yourself, but there might be an awful lot going on inside of you, and you'll just have to tread carefully, and you can do that. You're the goat. You're very, very good with in dangerous environments to just choose the place to set your feet very, very carefully up the mountain. So if you tread carefully, or compromise with certain people, which probably you'll have to, because you've got to rely on certain people, even though maybe you don't want to have to rely on certain people, or people either you know, or people you work with, or people that you know in your personal life, or people that you work with, or those in some sort of faceless, anonymous outside agency. You've got to rely on what they have to provide. So, and that's whether you like it or not. So you have to weigh things up. You have to sort of almost like keep a low profile, sense your way forwards, hold the lantern of your deep knowing in front of you, and trust that. And you should be okay. Just avoid allowing, just avoid the knee-jerk response thing to send you down the same old hole in the road, because emotions, people can push your buttons much more easily at the moment, and that's up until the 22nd. So, but Mercury is also in the same area, and Mercury will have you having discussions about the financial side of things, or the property side of things, or having discussions and having ideas about what you might have to with the budget, or what you've got to prioritize in a material sense, or maybe it's not that at all. Maybe it's what you've got to prioritize in a relationship. Maybe you and someone are really looking into something more deeply, maybe taking confidential advice from somebody, and feeling perhaps quite passionate about something, or someone, which touches you. Something can touch you quite deeply at the moment. And as I said before, and I'll say again, and I will keep saying it until I become very, very boring over the years, trust your gut and avoid knee-jerk responses. Because if you do that, then that's a muscle that starts to flex and get stronger, because most of us rely upon the muscle of our minds. And really, if you trust your gut, your instinct, which you feel in your bones, that is far more primitive and far more, in my book anyway, more trustworthy. Now, practical teamwork is favourably highlighted due to the current long transit of Venus, and you'll probably be in a cooperative frame of mind, wanting to be of practical help to others, in daily tasks and daily duties, and also connected to health. And this could be centred around a close relationship, a family relationship, or friendship, or a professional type one, and you're having more to do with service providers. But also you're more likely to, or in fact more likely to have interaction with health providers at the moment. and co-workers, colleagues, anybody that you're teaming up with or working with or is providing a service for you, or for whom you're providing a service. And there's a sort of a socializing feeling around this, a friendly feeling around this. Whistling while you work with others in a way. Perhaps I'm painting too romantic a sort of picture, but there can be a romance around this kind of sort of mundane working or health related type environment. And then Venus moves on the 8th, because it's been there for a while now. It's been there since April. Venus then moves and shifts out of there, and then goes into your close relationship area. And then you find that you and someone can really hit it off. Or if it's in a professional sort of sense, that you and someone can really get on and do business together. So whatever kind of relationship it is, personal, professional, you should benefit from their presence, they should benefit from yours, and it can give relationships a wonderful boost. And it can also manifest as an influence which helps you out materially, helps you out in a material, very practical way or a financial way. And in general, if you've got to negotiate, if you're in a one-to-one interaction with somebody else for something that you're after or something that they're after from you, that can go well with very diplomatic Venus here, who always senses where the balance is, always senses where the harmony is. So actually, if you were in an interview, for instance, you could find after the 8th, you could find that you and someone manage to make sense of each other and actually find each other quite appealing. So can play that one, because where the Sun and Mercury are is in this area which I've tried to outline to you in as balanced a way I can. So where Venus is going to be, this one-to-one type situation, this negotiation type situation can go well, or several situations, and some of you will shift into more commitment with someone, or somebody can put a good word in for you, or you've got a feeling of more ease in an emotional sense or a material sense through someone there, depending on your natal chart and your own ability to create and manifest what you want. So those of you who are into the law of attraction, you can really use that where Venus is. And Venus is actually going to move into quite a lucrative area, potentially lucrative area for you, not this month, but from the end of the first week, it's about the end of the first week of September. So now Jupiter is going to be in the area that Venus vacates on the 8th. Jupiter will continue in that area for several months and won't come out of there until June 2013, and that means that he will open doors and bring new opportunities into your area of employment, into your area to do with what your daily duties are, your daily tasks are, methods, techniques, bits of kit that you have to use for practical reasons on a daily basis. And he will be there definitely stacking the cards in your favour, I'd say, over the coming months. Now, until the 24th is a period when you make decisions about your general direction and where you're headed in life, because Mars is up at the top of your chart, and you may have to bite the bullet and just get on and do that thing, whatever it is you need to do to further your aims in life. Maybe you're taking a very long view, into the future. But remember that Mars's downside is impatience. So just if you have an offer, or you want to go for something, or you're stressing yourself out over something which is to do with a professional thing, or an ambition, or a goal that you wish to achieve, just sleep on it first. Because Mars can be hasty before you jump in and then perhaps regret it because you passed up something else or whatever it is. You may be putting physical effort into achieving certain goals and ambitions though with Mars there, and these may be career orientated, and this transit of Mars could inspire you to improve your image, improve your packaging, and improve the way you operate in the eyes of the powers that be, because you want to come across as competent and reliable, as well as decisive and energetic. Mars can be a bit over the top with the decisive and energetic, actually, and he likes speed, so sometimes he trips over his own shoelaces. So just, Mars actually, for you Capricorn, who can be pretty cautious and older than your years, really, can pan out quite well, as long as you follow those simple guidelines about harnessing the energy, not going too fast, being a little bit more self-disciplined, and perhaps keeping your opinions to yourself, not being too over the top with bosses, officials, anybody in a position of so-called control or power. But also you're having had to have more to do with bosses, potential ones or actual ones, officials, red tape and the like at the moment, probably, or a little bit more to do with it than you normally have. And just keep your cool, and you'll be able to make progress with the master plan. That's all that matters, making progress with the master plan. But of course, you've got to have a master plan. And and it's not necessary to have every single thing in place. You can go with the smaller goal, towards a feeling of where you'd like to end up. You don't have to have the master plan totally mapped out, dotted all the I's and crossing all the T's, because of course when you're younger, probably you've got it all mapped out, but when you're older, you sometimes don't know as much as you knew when you were younger. So this is a time to further whatever it is you want to get on with and want to push through with at the moment. And some of you may have a more robust interaction, maybe with a parent, a higher up, somebody who's dominant in some way, somebody who's like the person in charge. Just for your information, around mid-month, Saturn is slowing down the action of Mars, which might be a very good thing. It might be balancing out Mars's impulse to race ahead, but it's like the brakes are being applied, and you might feel this as a slowing of things, or even a delaying or a stopping, and there can be more, perhaps you feel it as pressure, though. You can feel it as more pressure on you, more of a burden. Or you might simply have, a little dip in your vitality. I don't know. But on the upside, this will be a bit of a reality check, maybe, or steady things down and help you to consolidate, because things are just moving along a little bit more slowly. And then Mars, of course, will pick up speed again once it's got past Saturn, which is probably around about the 16th onwards. Now, from the 24th, Mars moves into a more progressive area where you can finally make headway with whatever the hope was, whatever the dream was that you were waiting to get on with. Well, then you will feel, now there at least I feel a feeling of progress. So that sounds like a good thing. And from the 22nd, you'll be in a more outgoing mood and ready to check out fresh possibilities and launch into new things. And of course, the Sun will have moved out of that quite emotional at times area into a less emotional, more outgoing mood from the 22nd onwards. And that's it for August. If you go to my website, I'm told that now you can see what I've written about the slow moving out of planets, and you might want to look at that. And also you might want to find the forecast for your rising sign or your moon sign if you know what they are, because then you can sort of take out the bits that seem to make sense to you and disregard the rest. And I wish you well, and I'll see you the next time.